be a mini lesson on the rock cycle. As you can see, I have a basic rock cycle drawn on the board. And you can start anywhere on this cycle. A cycle is never ending, so it has no starting place or no beginning place. But we do need to kind of focus in some place, so let's start here at our sedimentary rocks. Sedimentary rocks are made out of sediments, which are basically just pieces, little teeny pieces of rock. It could be sand, it could be plants, and they get glued together and they harden and they make a rock. You're usually going to see different layers on a sedimentary rock, or you could see different fossils that have been stuck in there. Now, another form of rock that we're going to come to are these metamorphic rocks. Metamorphic rocks, you're going to see a swirling band, often banding of different colors, because these are rocks that have been changed. So they have been changed over time because of heat and pressure. They start off as one thing, and when over time, they're going to change into a completely different rock. The third type of rock that we have here is igneous. Igneous means from fire. So these types of rock are from cooled magma. You're going to see big crystal chunks in them possibly. But this cycle shows how that one rock can move from one thing to another. So if you have a sedimentary rock and you add a bunch of heat and pressure to it, kind of like inside the earth, there's a lot of heat, there's a lot of pressure, over time it can morph and change into metamorphic. If a metamorphic rock gets pushed so far down into the earth that it actually ends up melting into the magma, when that magma cools, it can turn into igneous. If an igneous rock gets broken up into lots of little pieces, it can then cement and become sedimentary. But that's not the only end of it. It's not just a circle. You can push a sedimentary rock so far down into the earth, and if it ends up melting, being in contact with magma, if it gets down into that kind of molten rock area, the sedimentary rock can melt, and then it can cool and become an igneous rock. Okay? Same thing, an igneous rock can add a bunch of heat and pressure on it, add a ton of heat, a ton of pressure on this igneous rock, and it can turn into a metamorphic rock. If you take a metamorphic rock and you break it up into a ton of little pieces, well then after it compacts and cools, it can also become a sedimentary rock. So every single rock has the ability to change over its lifetime and to change into something else. So we're going to show you some more examples. Okay, these are igneous rocks, so these ones are all formed from molten magma. If you look at this one, you can see different mineral grains because rocks are made of minerals, and you can see the different grains in here. So you're going to see bigger chunks of crystals. This one has cooled very, very slowly inside the earth, so it's called intrusive. So you can tell that it's intrusive because you can see those chunks. This one, basalt, you can see some darkening crystals, so it cooled much faster, so you can still see them. This is also igneous. Now this one cooled instantly. There are no crystal grains in here. It cooled very, very fast outside the earth. These two probably both have cooled outside the earth. Basalt is our ocean floor, so when that magma rised and hit the cooled water, it cooled very, very fast. So, the next type of rock we're going to look at is called sedimentary. You can see on here you've got the different sedimentary lines where they've been deposited, they've cemented together, they've hardened. Here is called a conglomerate. As you can tell, it's just big chunks of different types of rocks that have been cemented together, different pieces. So this has a lot of big sediments. You can see right here is the milky quartz. There's probably some sandstone in there. There's quite a bit in here for the sedimentary rocks. You're going to see the banding and you're going to see particles. You can easily feel the different particles it's made from. And our last type of rock that we get to are metamorphic rocks. These all started out as something different. Sometimes you're going to see foliation and different banding of colors. It's different than sedimentary, these banding of colors. The bands don't go all the way across. Sometimes you'll see like this rock where it really does look like two separate rocks kind of glued together, morphed together. This one's interesting with large crystal chunks of a different type of rock, so you can definitely see two specific types of rock here connected. And then you have these other ones with different banding of colors as well. Sometimes they've got a swirly look to them. Okay, that is our mini lesson.